pregnancy. The reason you look the way you look is because you did not get pregnant right after you started menstruating. In Spain, 20 years ago, the age of consent was 12. The main purpose of ejaculating is to create children. Yesterday I watched a documentary called What is a Woman by Matt Walsh. It's a really great one. I strongly recommend watching it. On the day a girl got her first period is usually when she lost her virginity and got impregnated. Nobody cared about her exact age because it didn't matter.
I stumbled across a channel that I happen to believe is the worst person on the internet. This guy has some of the most awful opinions I've ever seen. That's his face. His channel name is not important. I'll show it later. But fuck you. I don't care who you are. Your opinions are dog shit. The first one we're going to look at is his reaction to What is a Woman by Matt Walsh. Apparently this guy thought What is a Woman from Matt Walsh was just... It was a phenomenal commentary on the way that society is going. And I just thought I'd start with showing you guys what this piece of shit thought about Matt Walsh's transphobic propaganda.
Yesterday I watched a documentary called What is a Woman by Matt Walsh. It's a really great one. I strongly recommend watching it. One thing very noticeable, which I assume Matt was trying to indirectly point out to the audience, was that the experts who he interviewed, who are in support of the transgender community, had dyed hair. They spoke and dressed like they are mentally ill. If this was shown 20, 30 years ago, the audience would have believed that he is interviewing patients of a mental asylum. Yet, these are the supposed experts who are there to help others with their mental disorder. Mentally ill people helping other mentally ill people. What could possibly go wrong? There's a few things that I want to add to this documentary.
That's all I hear.
Transgender men
burp,
are trying to compete with women in sports and how it is unfair to the women
vomit.
Because men are naturally stronger. Yes, of course, this is true.
Men are naturally stronger?
Women who generally do manly things.
What was it that Ethan Klein said? A woman in a nature setting? Sorry.
Already have something mentally and hormonally wrong with them and suffer from a light form of gender dysphoria. Also, the parents, usually the father, will push girls into doing sports, and because a girl naturally wants to please her father, she will do anything that he asks her to do. It's also a parenting problem. Therefore, a transgender man trying to enter this field is irrelevant because women should not be part of it in the first place. A woman's life in nature is relatively stress-free and peaceful because she will usually be pregnant, and of course she doesn't want to get a miscarriage.
Do y'all know where he's going with this?
The documentary was trying to tell us that we should give women a fair chance to compete, when it should actually be saying that women
not
shouldn't be
what the documentary was saying,
because it promotes infertility. Secondly, an important question which wasn't asked in the film was, if a young girl identifies as a boy and later on gets hormones to actually try to physically transition to a boy, then why is that supported? Not long ago, she would have been diagnosed with a mental disorder, and everybody around her would have tried to help her in any way they can to realize that she is a girl. If she should be given any hormones, then it should be female hormones to bring out her femininity. Why would you give a young girl male hormones to confuse her body even more? After all, we are talking about a biochemical problem.
Whoa. I don't even know what to say to that, other than no.
And I can understand why. It's a complicated topic, and it would add an extra hour to the documentary, is where did this problem come from? Why do the Maasai not have transgender people? I will also not get deeply into it, but I will give you a few examples. It's a modern biochemical problem. Birth control. If you use it long enough, then you will be permanently infertile. But if you do end up having a child after using it, then it will almost definitely have issues just like that. Soy. A lot of children in Asia grow up eating and drinking it. As you can see, the boys are very
the
feminine,
problem is you
soy
boys. You're eating too much
soy.
You tofu-munching motherfuckers.
Also have phytoestrogens. They block the cell receptors of real hormones. This is a way bigger problem.
This video's hitting all the fucking targets, isn't it?
Women are told not to breastfeed, but instead use baby formula and other garbage. It is full of hormone disruptors.
I'm not a huge
Pretty
fan
much
of baby
everything that you
formula.
will eat that
I'll
comes
say
in
that,
plastic
but
also has those chemicals. Drugs which are supposed to prevent miscarriages and morning sickness will also disrupt the hormonal balance of the unborn child.
this fucking video is a whiplash of awful
bombarded by this
opinions and
stuff.
just sexism
The
and
documentary brings
transphobia and
great
just
awareness
fucking
to a
alpha
problem
male
that we have in
bullshit,
modern
just
society,
back and
but it
forth. I don't
doesn't
know
tackle the
how to
root
even
problem, which are
comprehend what I'm
drugs
processing
and
other
toxic
than
food.
shock.
The only way to prevent it
Just so you know,
is to
I
start
screened
living naturally again.
none of these videos. I screened 0 of these before playing them on stream. I have no idea how bad they are. I got 30 seconds into this one and then read a few titles, and I was like, this is gold. But y'all need to buckle up, because that was the intro. It gets substantially worse. You think blatant transphobia and sexism is where he draws the line? Like, he's not going to get much. No, this is like the tip of the iceberg. This guy is a piece of shit. Oh my god. I thought I'd open with that, because that's the only one that I actually watched into even a little bit. I watched 30 seconds of this and none of the other ones even a little bit. And it is breathtaking, the opinions this man holds. I am in shock. I do not even know what to say other than holy fuck. This fucking guy. That was his thoughts on What is a Woman by Matt Walsh. Apparently, it was a great documentary that he highly recommends, and not transphobic propaganda in any way. Holy shit, man. Holy shit. There was just so much in there that I don't even know what to respond to. But the next video I have on the roster, I'm just going to move on, and I'm going to let you just deal with what has been witnessed. The next video is called Semen Retention is Self-Enslavement. I just thought that that's a hell of a title, and I wanted to share whatever the fuck this is.
People quite often ask me about semen retention. I made a video about NoFap many years ago, which I will link in the description. Not ejaculating is as unnatural as anything can get.
Like a year-old video on NoFap?
Ejaculation releases endorphins. Not the orgasm, but the ejaculation itself. This perfectly proves that it's healthy and natural for us. The fact that I have to make a video explaining to guys that ejaculating is good for you only proves how fucked up this earth is and how retarded people are. Besides that, semen retention is very obviously a depopulation agenda. The main purpose of ejaculating is to create children. The less often you will do it, the less likely you are to create a family and be happy.
The purpose
There's two
of
main ways that guys
procreate?
practice it.
Is that what I heard?
One is by becoming celibate, which is essentially impossible if you eat your natural diet anyway. And the other way is to learn how to orgasm without ejaculating. Man. I hope that I don't have to point out how ridiculous that is. There is
I love how he's just like in the middle of the fucking woods.
Definite scientific correlation between ejaculating.
The next video I have is called A Woman's Purpose. The first two were kind of jokes. The first two videos I had were to introduce you to this man. This man being whatever the fuck this username is. I'm not even going to try to pronounce that. His thumbnails are bad. What is this? What is happening? He's in most of them. He loves going into the middle of nowhere. I think he's running from the police and he's homeless. I don't understand this man. But I've been sort of like when you boil a living creature, right? You start it at room temperature and you increase a degree or two at a time. That way, by the time you hit boiling temperature, it doesn't even realize it's boiling alive. That's what I've done to you. I have introduced you to this man, and I'm now going to show you how fucking dark he actually is. I see a lot of videos
for women
because
on YouTube
piece of
on
shit
how to get a so-called hourglass
is about to try
body.
to defend pedophilia
Wider
to you
hips and
in a
bigger
YouTube
breasts,
video.
essentially.
Which, by
they
the
will
way,
tell you to work
this has 50,000
out,
views.
do plastic surgery, go on unnatural diets, and so on.
I let him speak for himself.
Is bullshit. There's one solution to all of your problems: pregnancy. The reason you look the way you look is because you did not get pregnant right after you started menstruating. Your menstruation
is literally your body, nature, God, if you're religious, telling you to have children now. Not doing that is exactly the same as not eating meat and fat when you are hungry.
Pardon?
It completely goes against your body's needs and senses, and you will be naturally punished for it. And in this case, you are punished with your looks. Every woman on earth that did not get pregnant when she was supposed to now looks different than she should, which means that most women in Europe and North America don't look the way they are supposed to. Do you understand how big of a deal this is? Almost every woman that walks past you in everyday life doesn't look the way she is naturally supposed to. The looks are one thing, but there's a much bigger problem that most women have no clue about. Your body stops growing at around the age of 18. Growth is not only your height, your body goes through a lot of changes.
Stops at 18?
And one of them is that it tightens and stays that way for life. This is a huge problem for women in the West today. You've probably been told all of your life that childbirth is very painful, right? It actually isn't, but it is for most women in the West, and that's because they give birth almost 15 years too late. You have to understand that from nature's perspective, you're seen as a loser, and that's why you will be punished with pain. This is why you have to give birth. Young and flexible. Your hips will widen very easily when giving birth. And you won't have to go through those painful contractions that women who give birth at an unnatural age go through. Your hips will stay that way and make all of your future births just as easy, whereas those women can even risk bleeding to death when they give birth. Again, this is a natural punishment for going against nature. You won't have stretch marks, your breasts will be much bigger.
I did lie to you. I did also pre-watch this one, but only about a minute in, when he says that when a woman starts menstruating is when she needs to get pregnant. I have not made it this far into this video. I did not know it continually gets worse and worse, and I don't know what the fuck happens around the 7-minute mark. I am in disbelief as to what I'm hearing this man say, as if it's some sort of fucking truth. You're a piece of shit, man. Holy fuck. The woods that you are in, you should be buried in. Alive. Fuck you. Holy... I'm going to let him keep going. I'm going to let him keep digging himself into a hole because, my lord, everything that this guy says is wrong, is a horrible opinion. It makes him look like a piece of shit. He should not say the things that he does.
Because you will be pregnant while you are going through puberty, which is how it's supposed to be. It will give you an extra boost.
Pregnant while going through puberty,
this is
like
how
you're
you
supposed
actually
to
naturally get an attractive body as a woman. Of course, you have to still eat natural food to be well developed and have an easy birth. You can't eat cookies and pasta and expect to have an easy childbirth, no matter how young you are. Genes obviously also play a role, and some women simply do have different body types. The media teaches women to be promiscuous. The schools teach them to use protection, and the families usually don't even get involved today. They don't have a strong father figure to lead them or to teach them anything.
Yeah.
Back in the day, we did not document our birth dates as we do now. Most people didn't know how old they are because naturally it's irrelevant. On the day a girl got her first period is usually when she lost her virginity and got impregnated. Nobody cared about her exact age because it didn't matter up until today. I'll give you some examples. In Spain, 20 years ago, the age of consent was 12. It was changed to 16 some years ago. In Italy and Germany, it was also 12 for ages. In Italy, it is 14 now. Not that much has changed there.
That's a good
thing? In Canada, up until 2008,
there's a reason 14. It changed.
Artificial marriages with a contract usually happen between the ages of 9 and 12 all around the earth. A bit over 100 years ago, the age of consent in the United States was 7 to 12 years, depending on the state. In 1920, After World War I,
Was it?
it was changed to 16 to 18.
No.
All of a sudden. That's also
Should
when
have
women
been that,
started
like, the whole
working
time.
and sending their children to kindergarten. All of a sudden, the children were in the hands of the government. Everything started going downhill 100 years ago. It was like a great reset.
I bet this guy likes Ted Kaczynski. But not in a good
Nowadays,
way.
we have mind control programs such as To Catch a Predator with Chris Hansen.
Mind
sure a lot of you
control?
have seen it.
Is that what
Men
you just
get
called
caught
Chris Hansen?
for wanting to sleep with 15-year-old girls. Yet in Europe, the age of consent is 14 to 15 in most countries. And that's simply because even the governments here understand that no matter how old you are as a guy, you would have to be severely mentally ill not to find a 15-year-old girl attractive. Yet in the United States...
Oh, that's a quote. That's a quote. Oh. I guess I'm mentally ill, boys. Aren't we all? I guess we're all just fucking sick in the head because we wouldn't fuck a child. I need to... I'm gonna run that back.
Understand that no matter how old you are as a guy, you would have to be severely mentally ill not to find a 15-year-old girl attractive. Yet in the United States, you are seen as a monster for having a natural attraction, even though...
Oh my god. Oh my god. I thought he would keep dancing around it and talking about, like, menstruation. No, he just straight out said, like, why can't I fuck a 14-year-old? Oh my god. I'm about to be ill. Jesus Christ, man. No!
Though, that's only 1 year away from 16, which is legal in a lot of states. It's a man-made number, and most importantly, in nature, you would
Didn't
never
R. Kelly
be able
write a
to
song
tell
about
if
that?
a girl
Age
is
is just
15 or 16. Yet people still get prison sentences
me.
for sleeping with 15-year-old girls. But it's
Whoa.
totally fine if she turns 16 the next day.
collapsing over here. I don't know
Absolutely
what the I can't
ridiculous.
process what I'm
Women in
seeing.
nature don't work. Yes, they may get their food or do some
Women
chores
in
here and
nature
there, but that's
don't
about
work.
it. Men do all of the heavy work. And that's because biochemically, we actually enjoy it. You as a woman do not want to work.
we
And you
enjoy
most
working.
certainly
Women do
not enjoy working out or doing any kind of sports.
I don't enjoy
Hormonally,
work.
it completely goes
the fuck
against your
enjoys work?
biochemistry.
Yeah,
The
I
more you
love
work
delivering
out,
for
the more infertile
DoorDash. That's
you get.
fucking awesome. It's so fun.
You would be a million times happier having a peaceful life, taking care of your children and your husband. A large amount of the time.
yeah,
you would be
no
pregnant,
women enjoy
and
their
that alone would
careers.
make you
That's
want
not
to
a
rest,
thing.
Besides running the risk of a miscarriage if you would lift anything heavy. Women nowadays sleep around and then they later realize
Women
that they
only
want to have a
exist
family
to give
and a
kid
husband
ooga
who is
booga.
loyal
I exist
and
with
respects
caveman
them.
brain.
Snap out of
Bunga
it.
bunga
Deep down,
dumbass.
every man
Dude, it is
going to see you as
2022.
used up.
And
Don't
it's like
complain
July.
about it.
Fucking
Realize that
wake
you
up.
fucked
Oh my
and try
God.
to make the best out
What
of it.
year
Let's
do you
break
think
all
it
of
is?
this down
Where
and
are
take
you?
the US as an example.
Holy shit.
As a teenager, you sleep around. Already when you've had 2 to 3 partners, the likeliness of you ever being able to pair bond is close to impossible. You are not allowed to naturally marry anybody who is older than you, who may be strong enough to take care of you, but you
What?
are allowed to sleep.
I've had enough of this guy. I've had enough of this guy. I've had enough of this guy. I don't need to hear another word out of his mouth. He wants to fuck children. He doesn't think trans people are real. He's very sexist. He thinks women only exist to be pregnant, and he thinks that they should have that happen when they are 13 fucking years old. This guy is a stain on the planet. Holy shit. I'm gonna bring the music back. Because I'm not playing another video. I'm not listening to another word this sack of shit has to say. Sorry, I'm in shock. I cannot process what I've just fucking witnessed. So, to recap, he loves Matt Walsh's documentary, What is a Woman? Which is just transphobic propaganda. He thinks women only exist to be pregnant. He loves to cum. He doesn't like semen retention. And apparently he likes to do that inside of a child, which is illegal and just disgusting. Oh my god. What did we just watch? I didn't know it got that bad. I'm sorry. Whoa. Anyway, that was whatever the fuck his name is. sv3rige, dumbass, piece of shit, retard, asshole, sexist, piece of trash. Someone killed them. Cut that. But yeah, that was it for that. If you enjoyed that, no idea why you would. Thanks. If you're watching this on YouTube, subscribe if you liked it. I don't know why you would have. That was disgusting. Whoa.